Good evening, YouTube land. So for this extended edition, we're going to get into the band that got me into metal all these years ago, Metallica. This is going to be from one of the biggest shows they've ever done, attendance of 1,600,000 people. It was at an airfield in Russia shortly after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Metallica is from Los Angeles, California. They were started in 1981. They currently have 10 albums. Their newest album was released in 2016. So let's get started. It's gotta be louder. So for me, this is their look and sound that will forever be ingrained in my brain. The first time I heard this song was probably 1996 when they released Load. I heard it on the radio, and they played this before they played the new song off of Load, which I don't remember the name of the song. If I sat here longer, I could remember it, but I heard it on the radio. I was like 10 years old, and I was like, can music really sound this good? And apparently it could because I was listening to it. So once I found these guys from the radio, I was hooked, and I've been into rock and metal ever since. 10 years. And I'm 33 now. It hasn't faded. So for me, my personal opinion, James's appearance with within this time period is the epitome of what a metal icon is, or in some cases, a metal god. Someone that created something from this magnitude. And if it wasn't for their sound and what they did on this album, metal would not be what it is today. I truly believe that Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne started the genre of metal, but Metallica took that and made it heavier. And then following bands like Korn and Slipknot morphed it into something more accessible and more heavy. So when I say accessible, I mean to the people that like the super heavy stuff like Slayer and Cannibal Corpse, stuff like that. But most of those bands were influenced by Metallica, because at the time Metallica came out in '81, they were one of the heaviest bands to walk the earth.
Lord, my soul to keep. If I die before I wake, pray the Lord my soul to take. But still, baby, don't say a word. And never mind that noise you heard. It's just a face under your bed, in your closet, in your hair. Exit light, enter light. Breathe of sand. Exit light, enter light. Take my hand, to never, never land. Yeah, alright. No!
I hope you guys enjoyed that little piece of history. I learned from watching a documentary that when they were doing the Monsters of Rock tour in Europe, that Russia wasn't initially on the bill, but when they were close to Russia, they had the opportunity to go over and play a show, because like I said, communism had just fell, and there was a huge outcry from the Russian public to bring this festival to, celebrate that communism was over, that they made it through those very hard, difficult times, and so they wanted to celebrate with music. And I believe one of the reasons why this type of music really resonated with those people is because it helped keep them fueled in their um, strive to beat communism. They strive to get capitalism and not be imposed on by a ruling authority. There was a lot of uprisings and riots and protests against communism in Russia that really wasn't talked about because it was, suppressed by the government. But history aside, um, in my opinion, Metallica is one of the best metal bands to ever play, or probably to ever will play. Um, there's just something about them. They have a magic formula that caters to a lot of different people, regardless if they're into metal or not. There's just something about them where they bridge gaps and they are inclusive to a lot of different types of people. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of history, and I hope that you're having a great day or night wherever you're at. And as always, keep it metal.